Okay, members, you're all very welcome to today's session. I want to thank you all for persisting from the time we began with this course. And right about today, we have another exciting and very interesting session that we are going to conduct. And today's session is about managing ICT infrastructure and resources. Just a reminder, this is Sharebility EduTech course, a course run by Sharebility Uganda Limited, an education technology company in Uganda, East Africa. This course is forwarded. It is forwarded unto you all educators or the teachers who are passionate about integrating ICT into your day-to-day activities. So members, thank you so much for persisting and being so active through the previous sessions that we had. This course was broken down into 3 modules. We had module 1, which was all about basic or essential ICT skills that every teacher should be knowing or should be having in order for him or her to be able to create digital content and then also utilize or share that digital content with the learners, but also with the colleagues. So we've been conducting a series of those sessions. We went to module 2, and now we are coming towards the end of our sessions, our online education technology course. And right about today, we have a session about managing the ICT infrastructure and resources. It is one thing to acquire them, but it is also another thing to manage them. So as administrators, we should be having the technical skills, we should be having in the ways how we could be able to manage all these the ICT infrastructure that we shall be in position to acquire in our respective stations of work or schools, such that it can be sustainable, it can last longer for the benefit of our teachers and our learners in our schools. So members, without wasting time, I can see on my clock already we are 10 minutes past 8 p.m. I want you to join me and welcome our speaker of the day, and that is Mr. Rogers, who is going to be stepping in. We apologize, our speaker who was meant to share, the speaker was put on the poster due to unavailable circumstances. Is unable to connect with us, but good enough. We already have very many facilitators, and right about now, I want you to join me and welcome Mr. Rogers, who is going to step in and share what Mr. Tegule was meant to have shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let me welcome Mr. Rogers.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Emorut. And I want to congratulate all members who are on the call. You should have the feeling of finalists who are about to graduate from the university, because this is our last unit on the Sharebility EduTech course. And I'm going to go straight into the content. Then we shall talk about what next at the end of the sharing for today. And I want to go straight into this. We are going to talking about managing ICT infrastructure and resources. Like Mr. Emerald said, Unit 3 was dedicated to school leaders, head teachers. So all of you who are on call, you are a head teacher today. Have that mind of a head teacher. This is for you. But also you may be not when you're not a head teacher, maybe you are an ICT teacher or what, but still head teachers come to you for guidance regarding management issues. Now, today's call, we are having an introduction here where we are saying that we are going to explore how schools can strategically manage their ICT infrastructure to ensure functionality, sustainability, and alignment with their educational goals. So you see, as schools, there are many things that you buy. You buy furniture. You buy furniture. You buy. Okay, yes. Okay. I hope you can hear me now. Okay. So sorry, there was an echo. I hope now I'm okay. Yeah. So you need to be having these devices that you have acquired in the school. First of all, how do you acquire them? How do you buy the good devices? How do you maintain them? The devices and even the networks, the internet. How do you make sure that you're having a thriving digital learning environment and things are working out? You might buy computers and you find that you are, the Waganda say, you have bought wrong devices, they are not helping you, they are freezing, or you get very good computers within 2 terms, they are down, viruses are full, or they have been stolen, or things are really not okay, or the rain came in and devices are down. So in this picture here, this was me in when I was a lab attendant. My first job actually was lab attendant. I started just as a lab attendant, not a teacher at Ginger College. And one of the things that I was doing is maintaining the lab, making sure that the ICTs are functional. The computer lab is okay. Everything here was having a tag. We did something like engraving, and we could monitor and have a report about these ICTs every time. So, but also as an ICT lab attendant, there are things I used to face. I could, for example, write a requisition to the head teacher, maybe for antivirus or some of those things, and the teacher doesn't want to require that. Maybe he doesn't understand why do I need it. Maybe at the end of the term, I want to reinstall Windows on all the computers, and he thinks that is my work. Okay, so no need for Windows license or anything. So some mice are down, the kids threw them down, and the mice are not working, and you requisition for the mice, and the teacher is not allowing to honor the requisition. So sometimes I could end up buying some mice on my own. So really, we are going to be looking at some of these things here. The head teachers, how do they budget wisely for acquisition and maintenance? How do we catalog and monitor ICT resources? How do we plan and manage school internet? How do we implement tackle cybersecurity, and how do we assess the return of ICT investments? Is it true that if you have a good computer lab like this one, the learners are going to get D1s in mathematics? Because schools have been reduced to how many distinctions are we getting at the end of the day. So some schools are even shying away from investing in computer labs, and ICT has not been taken on as and because it's an optional subject at O level, and at A level it is a subsidiary. So some schools have decided not to invest in the lab. So I'm talking to head teachers today. What do you include in an ICT budget plan? Some of the things that you include in an ICT budget plan. One, the hardware. So as you do a plan, I know most schools, you do a plan with your PTA, with whatever, you do a plan for planning for the school as how much tuition you are going to receive in terms of fees, and then what are you going to buy? Are you going to build a dormitory? Are you going to build a bus? Are you going to paint classes? What are you going to do? Are you going to buy chalk? Are you going to buy posho for the kitchen? Which ICTs are you going to buy? Because ICTs are now part and parcel to the education system. So we look at these things here, and then we need to understand. Uh, so one is the hardware, the computers, the laptops, the tablets, the printers, the projectors, network, hardware, the switches, power backup. There are very many things to do with hardware that you may need to plan for. Then the software. Softwares like Windows, Office, educational software like digital libraries, security tools, antivirus, net monitor. This net monitor, we used to use it for monitoring children's computers. I could sit this side in my room, and then I could see all the computers the other side using net monitor. So all these tools, if your lab technician requisitions and he brings that he wants to get net monitor license, will you as a head teacher allow that requisition, or to be taken? I don't understand this and you not allow? And also, we have seen some lab technicians who want to eat money. He at the end of the term tells the teacher, we need to install Windows. Each computer is 50,000, and he brings a requisition of 2 million because I want to install Windows. So again, some lab technicians, he says, I want this computer needs RAM. RAM is this amount. Head teacher doesn't know. So we have been having those challenges. So for the head teachers to be able to support and budget well for hardware and software, they need to understand these things. Today's session is meant to help us understand some of these things as school leaders. Maintenance, how regular should it be? Which spare parts are needed? How often do we schedule technician visits? Upgrades and replacements. Some schools are having computers given to them by UCC, but 10 years down the road, they don't even want to replace. If a monitor is down, they can't replace because those are UCC computers. Yet, we are supposed to budget for replacements. Then we also have recurring costs like internet subscription fees, annual licenses, staff training sessions, because the staff are the ones going to use these computers. They need to be trained so that they can be able to use them well. And even lab attendant needs to be paid. Why is it that some schools are having lab attendants in biology lab, in chemistry lab? Those lab attendants, they are on school whatever salary, and there's no one complaining. They are there. You even keep adding them. But in lab technician, when it comes to the computer lab, that's where you draw the line. You are very ready to pay salary for lab attendant in chemistry lab, but you don't want to pay salary for a lab attendant in ICT. Yet ICT lab may be the most expensive because you have devices there. In the other side, in chemistry lab, you only have some specimen, these beakers, titration things, and some chemicals. Is that more expensive than computers that you want to protect the chemicals more than the lab? So in this session, we want to tell head teachers that you need to have a lab attendant paid, and this lab attendant is going to care for your lab. You only bundle that all worker to the ICT teacher. The ICT teacher is teaching, and again is the lab is marking papers, doing what? Again is the lab attendant. You find, for me, when I was in that school, I was in the lab from 5 a.m. up to 11 in the night because I was there. They use the lab in the morning prep and even in the evening prep. So if you give all that work to the ICT teacher who has been teaching the whole day and again is there even in the evening prep, as a lab attendant, it doesn't help. So we really need to ensure that, one, you need to create a simple spreadsheet that tracks what you need, which ICTs are needed, what do you have, and what are the estimated costs. You need to understand how much RAM is, how much is a hard disk. Some of these things, understand them so that you can be able to move. So this look here is very common in our head teachers' offices. So you find that I'm having here, the computer lab is this site, and this man has brought a requisition. This is the lab attendant. He has brought a requisition in the office. And the head teacher is looking at the requisition, is not understanding, and is just confused. So he's saying now, what should I do? Should I allow this requisition or should I refuse? So the teacher is seeing stars, and this lab technician is trying to pray that this requisition goes through. So what do head teachers consider before approving a requisition for hardware? So I want some members to share experience. Have you found yourself in such a situation where you are in charge of a lab, but the administrator or the people in charge or people ahead of you, they don't understand your things. You're the one who is the expert. You can recommend that I need to buy Firefox 100,000, and they give you money because they don't know what Firefox is or they don't understand these things. So what is the what one of the things is, how do we have you been I want some members to share some experiences before we proceed, and then we are going to look at some sample budgets for creating for setting up a computer lab. Madam Claudia, thank you very much for being here. You can unmute. You can unmute and then say something. What is your experience?
Okay, good evening, everybody. Great that we are having another session together. For me, I'm always very helpful because maybe I have a bigger budget. I sometimes spend millions. Then I had one school, that day I invested 1 million, then an extension was missing. And I asked the school to buy an extension for 35,000. The school said, no money for 35,000. It was the moment when I left that school and I said, no more investment from my side. Sorry. I was upset.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So this is to do with the schools which don't really they think these computers are for. So Claudia from Royal Diocese, you have donated the computers to the school and the school cannot even buy an extension because that is not their lab. So that has been thank you very much for sharing. I don't know if there's any other person who wants to share any experience in the line of what I've shared. Yes, Mr. Emorut.
Okay, thank you very much. My experience is like, some schools ideally make budgets, and if at all that is not captured, like ICT as a sector or as a department is not captured in the school's budget. So sometimes that's when you find that when you try to write a requisition before yeah, and you forward it to the head teacher sometimes can have a gloomy face like that one, because when he looks at the budget, he doesn't see where to get that money from. So I think to be safe, ICT teachers need to work together with the school administration such that when the budgeting process is taking place, they get at least some quantity of money or some amount of money that is budgeted towards maybe some of those items that the department might require to acquire. So for me, what I usually do, I make sure I am very close to the head teacher and I keep updating him. I keep telling him. I share my requests with him before even he goes in for the budgeting process, such that he can campaign for me in the top level meeting where they are doing the budgeting process from.
All right, thank you, Mr. Emorut. Uh, thank you. Does your head teacher trust the figures you tell him, or he thinks that you want to cheat? Because many head teachers think ICT people, we are thieves.
I think he trusts me because I don't share a very exorbitant fees, and where necessary I try to be as transparent as possible. I share even the contacts of the suppliers, the equipment suppliers, and indeed when they try to reach out to them, they find that the prices are genuine, and when they try to make investigation from other suppliers also, yeah, the prices are reasonable.
All right, thank you. Let me get here from Mr. Fabiano, and then we can proceed. Mr. Fabiano.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Uh, Actually, Me also, I have passed through the experience pertaining the issue of purchasing items in the laboratory computer. For me, what I look at is mostly the first thing what I normally do is to make my requisition to be understood by the teacher to understand. What I do is I start from the doors, whereby I first explain to the doors exactly what I need, so that when he or she goes to the head teacher, is able to explain exactly what is what I need. Because sometimes, actually, we were two in the school, but when you find that if the other teacher made a requisition, the doors first again call me to ask me and to find out if exactly what that teacher is asking it is true or not. Because sometimes what for them they normally look at is, as you mentioned before, is like some teachers may request for an I submit a requisition whereby you may find it is too high. So it makes sometimes that the teacher to get it makes sometimes the teacher maybe he or she can refuse the requisition, because you may look at the amount of money or the budget that is too big, whereby they may find it difficult for them to buy those items. So it is better when you are submitting a requisition, it is better you have to know the what. When they ask you, you need to give a clear explanation, because when you don't give a clear explanation, then doubts start coming. Whatever requisition you submit, they will not respond. They find it very hard for them to respond to your requisition. So that's what I have passed through. I submit.
Okay. Thank you very much. We can first proceed for now. Thank you very much, members, for sharing experiences. And we pray that the head teachers and even us, we always have a good rate, because at the end of the day, if the trust is not there between the lab attendant and the head teacher, then we can have issues whereby ICTs are going to suffer. They would not be maintained, or we shall not be able to progress very well. So both parties need to understand, and they need to be genuine and be able to have things moving very well. Now, as we proceed, before we look at cataloging, there has been an issue. We have some schools which are interested in setting up computer labs. Okay. Now, one of the things which has been there, if you go to the website of ICT Teachers Association of Uganda, there are a number of articles that were written about any computing and standalone computers. So we need to understand, head teacher, there are some of our head teachers, especially in Edify Partner schools and other schools, who don't have a computer lab yet. They want to set up one. So would they go for any computing or set up standalone computers? So there are several articles. In this one of the articles, Mr. Domba, who wrote this article, was trying to compare. And also there are other articles on installing any computing. Any computing is something to do with thin client technology. And then the other one is, so we have several articles here that can be able to help us. So there is a comparison table here, which I wanted us to look at. So he talked about in computing and said one of the issues there is that with any computing, users have to wait to burn in turns. That means because with any computing, how it works is there is a card, this kind of card, which is put in the system unit, and then you can connect 5 monitors on it. So you find that one system unit, like this one, can connect 5 or more monitors, or even more. At Colossus, where I'm teaching this term, we have one system unit, which we put 32 GB of RAM, and we connected the thin client, and it has 25 users, one computer, like this. So I only buy one strong computer, and then I connect several computers. So some people look at it as a way of saving, but also there are other advantages that Stephen was highlighting here. Now, the challenges with this setup is that all these children are going to have one CD writer on this computer. If it comes to UNEB banning, it means the learners are having an issue that they have to ban in turns. But here, if it's standalones, every learner has their own computer, so everyone can be able to ban. Then we have what we call printing. Here, printing may be easier because you don't need even to network. All the computers are on one system unit, so you'll connect the printer only on the server. And then this side, you have to network computers if they are to print on one printer. If not, you use a flash to print manually. Then software licenses. Here, once you install maybe Colibri or Britannica or any other software here, all users have access, but here you have to install on each computer, and if it requires a license, maybe antivirus, you have to install on each computer. Here you install antivirus once, and all computers, all users are protected. Then storage, here all learners access the same hard disk on local disk D. Every learner has their own desktop, but they can work on the same hard disk. But here, all are having their own hard disks. Then here, in case power, here, any computing saves power because you're only powering monitors and one system unit. Here, there's more power because every system unit needs to take power. The space, any computing saves space because you only have monitors, no more desktops everywhere. But here, you need more space. Hardware management. Lab stuff, it becomes easier for you to install. If you want to power Windows, you only power once and you configure. But here, you need to do more. So the cost can be higher for the any computing side. For the standalones, any computing could be cheaper. So this was a comparison. And then after that comparison, there was another article. Let me talk about another. If I search for the word budget on this website, if I search for the word budget, I'll be able to find several articles here. There is a particular article that still was talking about what you need to set up a simple computer lab. Now, this was 2019. The prices might have changed, but we can discuss. So in this article, he wrote about, the pictures are not loading, but he talked about the full set computer. And he was saying for him, he can buy the tower at 700,000. Maybe this is a refurbished one. I think a new one could be like 1.5 or even 2 million, but he said he could get that one at Sun City in Kampala. And then this one has Dell Optiplex with 8 GB of RAM, okay? That is what he was saying there. Then he talked about buying the thin clients, Event Computing, and he was talking about buying them from Tinosoft Limited, but these models have been changing, and this was at around 1.2. Then he talked about the network monitors, network switch, several things here, keyboard and mice, and he was saying each one was at 10,000. So then there is some kind of budget here. So the main reason for sharing this is the budget, setting up a 21-seater computer lab. So he was buying a PC tower at 700,000. So right now we can discuss, can we get a tower full set at 700, or we can put 1.5? Because as Sharebility, when we are going to train in schools, many times we find the head teachers telling us, I don't have a lab. How much money do I need so that I can fundraise? Maybe we can make a project, PTA put a technology fee so that we get some money and we put a lab. The way we fundraise to buy a bus, we want to fundraise to make a lab. How much money do I need? And the teachers don't know. They don't know. They don't know what to do. But in this case, a tower refurbished was at 700, but I think we can, members will let me know what you think, whether we can get something good at that price. The monitors, by then, 18 monitors, each one 200,000. Keyboards was this, LAN cables for networking, cable ties, and then computing, 6 pieces was this, and then labor was 500, and the total budget was 17. So this would make a lab. There is some kind of setup I wanted to show you here, members. Let me see if I can bring it out as you try to look at those figures. So we are looking at a computer lab. We are looking at a computer lab, and we want to see what can we guide the teachers. How can we guide the school owners and school leaders? How can we guide them? How much money can they prepare? If someone wants to set up a computer lab, how much money can they prepare to have a computer lab? So there is some kind of image here. Let me see if I can project it. There is an image I want us to look at here. This is a very good setup of a lab that I think. Let me just look at this setup. So I hope you can see this kind of setup. This is a good setup for a school which is starting. So from this side, this is the entrance. When children come in, they come here, they see where there is a supervisor station. Supervisor station is where the lab technician or the lab attendant sits. So when children come in, they have to be sign in. There's a sign-in book here because they need to know who has come into the lab. Are they allowed, or which class and what? And then when they come in, they can come and sit here. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 12 computers. And then this side also we have 12 computers. Then we have a projector on the wall. This side we have a screen. And when it comes to ICT integration, we also need a speaker because you may want to play some videos from YouTube or whatever videos, so that learners can be able to hear, to see them and learn when they have come for research in the lab. Then if you have networked your computers, you could have the network rack here, and then the printers here. So this is a very organized kind of lab. If you have more space, you could have another row of tables, so that the computer lab goes to 48. And two children can share a computer. So if you have 48 computers, that means 96, and that is a stream, and that can be a good student computer ratio. So if a stream has 50 learners, then this one can be a good one. A computer ratio of 1 to 2, even 1 to 3 can work, because depending on, you can start small, you can start with a few computers, and then you can always expand. So long as you have a budget that every term I can expand. So in this session or in this segment, I want members to discuss what do you think is needed to set up a computer lab. Before we discuss that, there is another plan here for another computer lab that I wanted to look at. Computer lab plan. So in this computer lab plan, they were setting up a computer lab, having these kind of desktops. They are 50, want to buy 50 computers. And then also, when we are buying the computers for the children, you should plan to buy another stronger computer for the teacher, because these ones might be lower specifications, but this one here could be, if these ones have only 128 GB of hard disk, this one can be having 500 GB. This is for the teacher, and it could even be the server, where the net monitor or whichever server operating system will be installed, so that it can monitor the learners. So in this case, this is not standalone. The other one we talked about was any computing. Now this is standalone. We have a docking station. This is something that could be used to allow to connect multiple USB devices like a printer and others. It is an optional thing. We have the instructor monitor, a stronger monitor. a bigger monitor, a wide screen, so the lab technician can be using it, tenant can be using it to create the content, multimedia, and whatever. Then we have a splitter. Also, it may be necessary to provide alternative splitting signal for PCs. These are even links to where these things can be bought. We have the Cat6 cable, how many feet. We have these network clips, Cat6 clips. Okay. Then we have the crimping tool. This is important in a lab because these other clips sometimes break, so you may need to clip and make sure that even learners can learn networking if you have an ICT club, but you can always use it to replace the cables which have got spoiled and do them. Then we have a wall plate. This one here can be used to installed for Ethernet networks to eliminate clot of wires. So this one can help you to organize your cables. Then we have another Cat6 jacks. We have raceways. These ones are for protecting the cables, make sure that everything is well, it is insulated and things are fine. Then we have the patch panel, which is like then we have a network rack. This network rack is where all the network hardware are going to be fitted. Then we have a port switch. If we are looking at 50 computers, so we have 48 port switch where we are going to connect the cables, which are going to go to all the other computers. And then we have a UPS. UPS is important for power surges because you may realize that power goes off badly, but the server or some of these computers need to be protected so that they don't fail. Hard disks can fail. Then we have so we have all these things. Now, those are hardware. Now, when it comes to the software, you may need to set up a server operating system for the other main computer. You may need to have Windows. You may need to buy software like Adobe if you want your learners to learn graphics. You need a network printer in the lab so that learners can easily print at high volume, even exams and report cards. You want to print report cards for parents end of term, but you have an inkjet printer and it is taking 6 hours to print report cards for the term. But if you have a laserjet printer, you can be able to print at a higher speed. This one can print 40 papers per minute, and this is a good one. You can look at that. We also have a scanner. You need documents you may need to scan, pictures, and many other documents you may need to scan in a school, documents and others to send maybe to email them. So you also need the furniture where you are going to put. We have the scanner stand where you are going to put the furniture to ensure that the things are safe. You need a projector. What is a computer lab without a projector? So that learners can be able to see whatever the teachers are showing or overhead. If you don't have a projector in your lab, you may also need to get a screen where the projector projects if your walls are not strong. You need surge protectors. Madam Claudia talked about a school which refused to buy such after they were given computers. We need surge protectors, these kind of extensions. They can also protect against surges. Then we need the workstation desks. We need the instructor desk where the instructor is going to sit. We need the tables. So in this workstation chair, so in this particular, whatever, we had all these things that are needed. Then we have other software. We have this one called Synchronize. This is, it connects the teacher's computer with every computer networked so that this is the one which the teacher uses to monitor the learners. So a teacher can monitor all the computers, installs it on the server and also on the client. Then we need the deep freeze. Deep freeze software can help to make sure that the computers the settings remain the same because children are always changing settings. They can even put a bad wallpaper on the screen. But if there is deep freeze, once you restart computers, everything gets back to normal. So you need the wireless router to connect computers wirelessly, but also to connect to the switch. So we have all this. So there is some kind of budget here. Now this one was in dollars, and these prices also may not be current. but this was from what had been collected there for a 50 computer lab and having all these things that are needed. And at the end of the day, you'd come up with a computer lab like this one here. Now, this one, it could be a bit more modern and it could be more expensive, but you can think of all the things that we have talked about when they are fitted there and everything is organized, the screen and everything is in place. So head teachers, please, you need to understand, you can't hide away from these things. You need to understand these things so that you are able to manage, you are the manager of that school. You need to, when a lab technician says, I want deep freeze, I want what, you should be ICT literate enough in order to make decisions so that you can be able to support ICT in your school. So at this time, having shown you this layout and having shown you this other layout, and having shown you the original budget that Steve shared, this was 2024. So right now, the prices could have changed. So what can we do? So at this point, I want to ask members, I want us to collaborate and see, can we come up with something? I have some Excel sheet here. I want, first of all, basics. What can we do? Here I'm having what you call any computing, and then here is any computing, and then here is standalone. So this is standalone, and this is any computing. So I want to set up this kind of computer lab, this computer lab which is having 24 users. This kind of computer lab is what I want to set up, this one here. I want to set up 24 computers, and this is standalone. Then also, I also compare with any computing using the prices from Steve's article. And then our members can also share what they think. So we do something here, and then the rest of the session is going to be, at least if we can discuss something here, then we can be able to have something which we can share with the schools. If a school wants to set up any computing, what can they know? What can they do? And if a school wants to set up standalone, what can be the costs so that we can be able to move? So let me first get hands if there's anyone who wants to say something, and then we can proceed. We look at a few things here, and then we can go ahead and proceed with ours and conclude with our session for today. Yeah, today's session, we are looking at ICT managing, first of all, setting up and also managing, maintaining computers, the relationship between lab technicians and head teachers, and what they need to know. Madam Claudia, you have a hand once again. And I also want to request other members with something, put up your hand so that we give you opportunity to share. Yes, Madam Claudia.
Okay, so we have different schools that got computers from UCC. Normally these ones were in computing. Sometimes 2 servers, sometimes 4 servers, 20 monitors, 40 monitors. These days, many of the schools have internet, and we have to say these N computing licenses, they really increased in prices a lot. These days, the N computing license, which is able for internet per year, is 600,000 per server. If a school has 4 servers, that is 2.4 million every year just for the license and computing with internet. And it's really, I think that is a tremendous amount. In most of our country schools, they cannot afford. So quite often we really say, sorry, don't use internet, then it's cheaper. I think the prices even increased from 150 to 200,000 without internet. So there was really a big price increasement for the N computing licenses, and it's not easy to handle. So these days, if I have to give some consultancy to some head teachers, I say go for single systems, because these licenses, they are really costly. That is what I can share with you just from the past month.
All right, thank you, Madam Claudia, for that submission. She's saying any computing licenses skyrocketed. They are very expensive. At the end of the day, you may end up actually having the same cost for setting up standalones. And standalones are having some advantages that when one computer is down, doesn't mean the whole set, others are working, and you children have their own experience directly with the computer. They can restart it. They can do which things in computing they can't do. So I don't know if there's anyone else who wants to say something there or regarding that. So meanwhile, I realize our time is moving very fast. So I wanted to do something here as members share. So I have, let me start with standalones. Okay, let me look at standalones. So if I'm setting up a computer lab with standalone computers, I'm looking at basic. There is the budget which I showed you, which was a bit luxurious, which had many things for a modern lab. But now let me first look at basics for a school which doesn't have, which wants to get started. What can we do? So for this tower PC, we want to set up a lab of 24 computers. Okay, 24 computers, so that if children are sharing 2, that is 48. If there are 3, then that can be a stream. If that is the ratio is 1 to 3. Okay, let us start with this one of 24. The PC tower. Is this realistic, or we change it to, we increase 2025 price? If I'm to get a good tower computer full set, members who have bought computers recently, what is your comment on that? So I have PC tower full set. Do you think this is realistic, or because again, we don't want to misguide the teachers, we give them very little prices and then they go to the market and they fail to get. But also the discussion regarding refurbished versus new. Would you go for refurbished computers, or it's better to just go for new? What would be your experience? Okay. Yes, I can see yeah, other people. Mr. Fabiano was saying something here. Okay, maybe what I would think, I can put this one at 1.2 so that I get something more, a bit new. 700 could be very old computer. Maybe it could be something of like 10 years or 15 years ago. Of course, you can get in Kampala, we have all the computers. You can even get a full set at even 500, you can get. But it could be very old, and that means the lifespan ahead of it is also limited. So I could put it at 1.2. Now, in computing, we have said, we are not looking at in computing, we are looking at the standalones, like Madam Claudia said. Mr. Fabiano, you have something to say?
Yes, I wanted to comment on the issue of end computing. Yeah, because me, I'm using end computing, whereby I have 30 computers and 2 servers. But the disadvantage is that when the server got any problems, you will not be able to use the users. Because if the servers is not open, those 30 computers will not be used. So that's disadvantage I'm looking at now when we are using the end computers. Submit.
Okay, thank you very much. So, because members, and by the way, it's not only in computing, like at Kololo SS, we are having another thin client technology. And I said we are using one server is connecting 25, but they are working. So there are other thin client technologies apart from in computing that we may need to explore. And in case there is a school owner here or anyone, please, you can come at Kololo SS and look at the setup that we are having there. We are having a lab having only 2 system units, but it is having 50 computers. Each one has 25. And the spaces, and we just boosted it, put 32 GB of RAM, It is not any computing, it's a different any computing technology. But also, as we look at this budget, I want to bring in this GG site. This GG site the prices here are put by vendors downtown Kampala. They open up an account on it. It's an online marketplace, and they put prices. So if I want to buy a desktop computer tower, okay, so you find that there are very many prices. I have this one of 950. I have this one of 550. I have this one of 1.8. So it depends on the specifications, how new it is, how much memory is there, what is the kind of processor. So you can get at 700. This one is at 870. It has 400 GB. And you can call these people and go and get a computer. These ones here are refurbished computers. Now, one of the challenges I've seen that some people are able to get this and they set up and their children are able to learn. At the end of the day, we want our learners to learn. But then you could also go and look for brand new computers. Like we have vendors who have, for example, we have Mercury computers, we have what? So you could look out for some of those vendors and look at their websites, but you can also go downtown. But if you are a head teacher, then you need to get someone who knows. Go with your ICT teacher. Go with get someone who is knowledgeable. Now for Edify Partner Schools, Edify has got some vendors that they have vetted and they think these vendors are authentic. So we have some vendors that have been for those who are Edify Partner Schools. You can work with them, and then they can be able to support you with authentic devices, because you may go and buy devices and then you come back, they work for 2 months, maybe the motherboard was weak, things blow up and things are not helping you. So if you are Edify Partner Schools, you can contact Edify. They will give you some vendors that they have already looked at, and they can even give you devices on hire purchase through the lending partners. The lending partners can actually clear them, and then for you pay the loan slowly, so that at the end of the day you have a lab. Yeah, but if you are not an Edify Partner School, or you're just any other school, that is, you can try to look out for some of these other vendors. You can also look at the marketplace on GG for sample pricing, and you can be able to see. You can even say, I'm seeing a computer here at 350, a system unit, 4 GB Intel, but you have to look at how old is it? When was it created? Look at the manufacturing date and the generation. I have my friend Andrew Keddy. I want you to say something about buying old computers versus buying new computers. What do you consider when you're buying a computer, when you are looking out for a computer? So I want you to share something there. Mr. Andrew.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. Sometimes buying a computer depends on the budget that the school can have. You first of all have to look at what you have and versus what you need. Supposing you have a budget of 5 million or 10 million, barely it cannot get you 10 computers that are new. Or the only thing that you can do is some of the vendors that Edify has identified have used the computers and they can actually work. So with a budget of each computer costing about 600 or 700, you can have a computer that can have all the specifications that you need, and it can actually work for you for a longer period of time. Contrary is the fact that some people have a mindset of thinking that all the computers are going to work for a short period of time and either break down. Now that also comes back to who actually is using them and who is servicing them, and do you give them enough time? Sometimes just only dust can accumulate inside the computer and also can cause some problems that might fail the computer to function very properly. But if the budget can be adjusted, you can still go ahead and purchase new computers. So some of these, if you may not be in position to purchase from the vendors that Edify has identified, you can still, like Rogers has shared, some of these are places where you can just contact some of these sellers independently, that there is no third party or maybe someone trying to show you that this is the vendor. Contact them and let them explain to you what exactly is going to help you depending on the needs that you might show some of those vendors. Sometimes some of them are technical and they can really direct you also where to buy. But if that is also a challenge, usually on Sharebility groups, we can still direct you or maybe give you some advice on exactly what you might need depending on your need and how many students possibly you have in the lab. And some people there can be able to respond to your questions. If you have questions, you can still put in the channels that Sharebility has already created. I think that's how you should be in position to decide. Decide from yourself and also the budget and how many learners you have, and then you can make a choice whether you want new or you want to use the computer. Thank you for that.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. So members, we can always share. You need to get some technical people that you trust who can guide you. And then you'll be able to be supported. So first, leaving out any computing. So when it comes to the monitors, let me just take these prices that I can get at 200. These prices were prices that Stephen put up in a post in 2019. Stephen is a lab technician. He has been in these things of technical stuff for some time. But I think he was writing this for a low-end school that needs something for its learners. So the keyboard is 15, the mice 15, power cables, then these LAN cables, 2 boxes for networking. Then he had put some RJ45s, 50 pieces, at 1,000 cable ties. And now we have a network switch, and then he had also put something to do with labor. Okay, so the labor, let me not put 500. Let me first make it 1 million in 2025, so that it caters for even NMS linears. Okay, so with this, kind of setup, this is what was there. Okay, so let me just do a multiplication here. This is going to be this times this. And then I'm going to have something like this. And okay, this is a 0. This is another 0. Okay. Okay, so when I have something like that, I'll be able to have a total of 36 million. So note that the original article had 15 million. The original article here had 15 million. It had around 15 million. But this one, at least to be a bit more realistic, we have put around 36 million. So this 36 million should be able to help me set up a lab like this. And here, I've also not put the projector. Okay, I need to put a projector. So I need this is the 24 pieces. I need a projector. Projector, a good one, is around 2.5. Okay, so I can have a projector of 2.5. That is Epson. Okay, Epson projector. So I need one. Okay, so Epson projector, I need one. So I come to 38 million. Yeah, so just in total, I will look at 40 million because even a printer is not here yet. Yeah, so I'll look at least 20, and even furniture is not here. Okay, furniture is not here, and other things, but at least I can have this. So if you, with the Edify, how they are doing things is that if you want to buy devices, you have to first come up with a budget. And then after that, you can be able to approach them through their lending partners. They can give you that money, and you buy. The suppliers, they pay the suppliers. Suppliers supply the devices. You set up the lab, and then you pay slowly. Okay, so if you have set up your budget is 40 million, you can plan how much can I pay every term. Can you put a technology fee? See that each learner, you have 1,000 learners. If 1,000 learners, each learner brings, so if I have 1,000 learners and each learner is bringing 10, we have added, I've convinced parents, and we've added the eka 10,000. Okay, we have added eka 10,000 on fees. Okay, so I have 1,000 learners and I've added 10,000 on fees. For technology fee, I've convinced parents that your children need to learn. This is 21st century. We are going to start giving them computer studies. Even if we are a primary school, our learners, we don't want them to remain behind. So you allow the parents and you put a 10,000. That means in term 1, you are getting 10 million, you pay back. Term 2, another 10 million. You run this for only 4 terms and you'll have your 40 million to set up a lab. So if you are if you are an EduTech partner school, EduTech is having lending partners, they are willing to give you what we call an EduTech loan. Just get. But if you are not an EduTech partner school, you can be able to budget for this internally. You can be able to see how to raise money and budget and make sure that you run this for 3 terms. Then in the 4th term, you have enough money to set up your lab. You can also prioritize. So this is this. Then if you are using the end computing, the same kind of thing with end computing, it would cost, depending on which kind of thin client technology you are using, it may cost slightly cheaper. But if you are using a very expensive technology, then it might be actually expensive. Okay, so you need to do your calculations right and make sure that things can be able to work out. So this one, Madam Claudia said it increased. And how many terminals do you need? So if okay, let me assume it increased by 200%. So it was 1.2, so it is 2.4. This is now the computing terminal. Then this other one here, I don't have. So I would have something like that. And then what else have I not put? So you may find that here I'm in 23 million, and yet here I'm in 38 million. These other things are the same, but the labor here also I can put at 1 million. Okay, and I also have the printer. So you find that within computing, I've increased the price here by 2. I need only 6 in computing modules to connect to, then I need the, so here I'm looking at the end computing thin client. Then I need the same number of monitors. The rest of the things are the same. And I'm having this at 24 billion. So you can find that my lab, I'm spending less money with any computing. But here I'm having more flexibility, but the learners will have the same student device ratio. Okay, so having shared that, I see our time has really been fast spent. I don't know if there is any other comment from the members. There are other aspects we had wanted to discuss about in our group, in our slides. I'm just going to rush through them in the next 5 minutes, because what I wanted to share is what is most important. One of the things I want to talk about is cataloging. After you have set up your computer lab, that computer lab, things will get lost. You find that you have set up the lab, after the term, the mice are lost. Things are not, one computer is going to burn and the teacher will not tell you. The hard disk has crashed. By the time you realize after 2 years, the lab that you set up is down. So you need to be doing engrave and be cataloging and have a sheet that you can be able to be tracking. Okay, so you be tracking. For me, when I was at Ginger College, I was submitting this kind of registration sheet every term to my head teacher, okay? To my head of department. So we could do some kind of, we could have the engraved number. This was in GCO Labs, asset registration sheet. The model, the serial number, the status, whether it is in use, where is it located? Is it in the student's computer lab? What is its status? Is it working or not? So I could say it is in use, it's not in use. Even the printers, the printer, the engraved number on the printer, okay? I could have the engraved number there, and I could submit this on a daily. So I could say items which are not working, they are having mechanical fault or are having missing components. So I could submit this on a day, on a timely basis. I don't want the head teacher to be surprised. After 2 years, the computer lab is no more. So when I submit this inventory and the computers are no longer working, we can be able to plan replacement. He can look at the compare. Last term we had 10 mice. This term only 8 are working. What happened? So that at the end of the day we can be able to replace the mice next term. But if you don't, you head teacher, I'm talking to you. If you don't request your ICT department to be submitting an inventory of the ICTs in the lab, you will be in for a shock after a period of time because you are not seeing what is happening. You are not tracking usage, wear and tear, and maintenance. Some of the computers UCC provided, you go there and they are not working, they are all down because even the head teachers never bothered to monitor usage. So as you do a catalog, make sure that you create an asset register. Let this asset register, like the one I've just shown you, which I was using, capture the serial number, the date of purchase, who is assigned, track the condition every term, monitor the condition, use logbooks or simple forms to track, and also can use Excel if you have small schools. But if you're a big institution or a university, you can use software like Snipe IT. This is an open source, whereas Asset Tiger is for paying, okay? You can use these ones. I'm going to show you a quick demo of where you can get Snap IT. Assess responsibility, assign. You should have an ICT patron, lab technician, head of department. Involve the students as well. The ICT club should be involved in lab maintenance and do asset tagging or embroidery. Make sure that every computer has an engraved number. It is engraved, and you can be able to track that this computer came from Ginger College. This laptop came from your school. If someone steals the laptop, people can know that this laptop was stolen from this kind of school, okay? So with this, we have this software called Snipe IT. This software can help in tracking your devices if you are a big organization. But if you are a small organization, you can just use Excel and you track your devices. So this one is open source. It's called Snap IT. I would encourage you to visit the website snapit.app, and you can be able to click on the demo link. And when you go there, you will put in username is admin and password is password. Okay. Let me see. Password. Okay. Some school management systems have an asset register. So you could have your own school management system when it already has an asset register. So with this one here, you can have several assets. You can have several assets here. Like I have 271 assets. So I have, like, for example, I have, this is a laptop. So I can see this is a laptop. What is its serial number? What is its status? I can always update the device status as and when, if the device status has changed, or it is not working, it has blown, everything. And then at the end of the day, we can make reports down here. You can do an asset, an activity report. You can do a custom asset report. For example, you can say, I want to get all devices in a given department, or I want to do a report about ESA devices, or I want a report about any of these. So you can do a filter. I can get a report about the status, which ones need maintenance, which you need. So you just put it in here, the status. So there are some templates as well. So I can say maybe I want a status about the laptops, and I want in all departments, okay, categories laptops. Then I run my report. So when I run the report, it is going to give me the report in Excel, okay? And from there, I can be able to look at it, and then I see all the laptops in the university. Where are they? Are they working? Which kind of laptops are they? So this one here is a system and it is free of charge. So for you attending the Sharebility course, you are able to learn about it and you can use it for your own school. Then when you are planning for technology, you also need to plan for internet. So internet is part and parcel. You can't plan for the ICTs in your university school without internet planning. So you need to plan for internet. And I'm going to ask again Mr. Andrew to comment about internet. I'm asking a question here. You can see here, these teachers here. Members, we are about to finish, so don't run away from the call. Today is our last lesson. And we are really concluding Sharebility course in style. So you see these teachers here, they are very, very, very happy. They are doing Google here on the laptop. But internet can become frustrating. You might get fiber. You say, hey, I've got fiber, or I've got 5G. But when it is frustrating, seriously, kabisa. So what are your experiences on best internet service providers for school connectivity in Uganda? Can you guide a head teacher on call who wants to get internet in Kabera Maido for their school? Which internet are they going to connect? Are they going to come and get these routers here? I have one router here in my hand, which I got. I don't know whether I can actually show you. Let me try to see if I can show you this router here. This router is good for some people, but if I'm in Kabera Maido, it may not be good for me. Let me try to show you here. As Mr. Andrew, you try to members, this is the router that I'm having. Those of you who are seeing me, I don't know whether you are seeing me, but I have my router here. So I bought this router and I was seeing 5G because I used to use 4G. I said, I think when I get 5G, I'll be very happy. You see, I have 5G here. But my dear, 5G became 5G and a half, and I... So it also depends on where you are. I'm not decommitting the product. The product could be good depending on where you are. But you may get your 5G and you connect, and my dear, you're in trouble. Okay? Mr. Fabiano, how can you get a head teacher on connecting? Should we buy this 5G thing here? Can it connect users and the teachers? What do you recommend?
For me, I wanted first to have a question.
We are connecting about internet, no idea.
Yes.
Yes.
Now currently I'm using that type. But the challenge that I'm seeing is in case if you want to have like both the wireless and the LAN, you may find that the wireless may disappear, but you may be using only the LAN. So I don't know what could be the problem.
Okay, what could be the problem? So,
yes.
Mr. Morut, Mr. Andrew, can you share something about internet? Internet, if I'm in Kampala, what should I do? If I'm in Mbale, what should I do? I can see Mr. Moya also is online. Yes, Andrew, go ahead.
Before Mr. Fabiano goes off, I want to ask him, does it really work for him? Because it seems that his particular challenge is on the two connectivities. He either wants wireless and at the same time he wants wired. And which district is he connecting from, and does it really work for him? Because this also can help to inform others that it still works for them, specifically in districts where...
Okay, I want to respond on concerning that. From my side, now I'm in Chiriandongo district.
Yes.
The internet is working very well, but the only challenge is I find that the wireless disappear, but the LAN is very okay because I'm connecting all let me say in total there are 34 computers. I have 2 servers. The client's computer in the computer lab, there are 30, then other offices.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it also adds on to my other addition that I wanted to speak about, that usually in the places where there is no connectivity for wired connection, for example, the fiber connections that are in most districts, like for example, cities in Uganda here, you find that in districts like that, in Kaberamaido, in Kiriandongo, you will not get the fiber connectivity. Fiber connectivity is cheap because some of the internet fiber providers are charging about 100,000, 120, and 120 internet connectivity, which is fiber, can really serve a school and the whole administration. So if we are having people who are giving feedback that this kind of connection, this is mobile connection, Airtel mobile connection, you might find in other districts, this mobile connection is going to work, and in other districts, it is not going to work. And maybe MTN kind of mobile connection is the solution. So I think it's just going to depend from each user to decide before making a choice that if I am going to go with Airtel, does it really work in this region? And this is very easy for a user to determine, especially if you are going to be, you can begin by, first of all, using on your phone. If you use internet on your phone and you buy that device, and for example, you are connecting it to Airtel, there's a possibility that that device will still also work even when you have made already bought the device. So make a choice in which device you want, and first of all, begin to understand if the connectivity in that area will be able to serve. And then those people who are in districts where there is fiber connections, if you have a budget of 120,000, please go for fiber connection. It might be a challenge in the beginning because the money seems to be a bit high, because some schools want a budget of 50,000, 40,000. Now, if you buy that kind of device that Mr. Fabiano is having, there's going to be a challenge that you're going to buy internet bundles, and then you have to put that. Now, in schools, some administrators want to buy internet connectivity of 25,000, which is not going to serve the whole period or whole month. So maybe plan for, even when you have that kind of device. I don't know, maybe the other question, Mr. Fabiano will also tell us, how much is the budget when you're having mobile internet and you're having that kind of device? Do you pay for 100,000, 50,000, and does it serve the whole month? How are you able to regulate, especially in that instance for a school? And how long do you allow students to use internet? Is it specific times when you are in the lab, or you give them some allowances to use the internet, maybe outside school?
Okay, thank you very much, Andrew, for sharing that. So members, the discussion around internet, I don't know if there's anyone here who has used what we call RENU, internet for schools. RENU is specifically for, it started with universities, but now it is going out to connect schools. Started with some government schools, some schools which they targeted, and you can check out on their website. They are really publishing different reports about internet and the impact they connected. Mainly they started with the universities, but they're also trying to connect schools. I know some schools, like for example, Chambogo College are using RENU, and many other schools which are using RENU specifically to connect to schools. So when I go to their website, I'm not very easy to see whether pricing or what. You just need to contact them, talk to them if you are a school, and then see how they can, if they can be able to connect you at the particular time, or they also offer other things like zero rating platforms and other platforms. So please, RENU, when we are talking about connectivity of schools, we cannot miss it out. Then upcountry schools, you can try to check out Airtel Broadband. Airtel Broadband, there is actually a friend of mine also, I think, yeah, I think still Steve, he wrote an article. So they can give you something like a dish like this, which you can connect on your, which can receive internet, whether you're in Sironko or wherever. it will be able to pick a signal, and then you are going to have a fast internet that you are going to have, and then you'll be paying. So they have Airtel Extreme, they also have, and also they have packages which can be in the range here. By this time, they had a package of 170,000. Yeah, so you can be able to connect your children to the internet. But for the rest of us who are within Kampala or in these other areas, please just look out for fiber connection. Even me now, here I'm having fiber at home. So fiber connection, I started with this thing here, this 5G thing. My dear, the 5G became 5G, so I decided to go for fiber, okay? So we have Savannah fiber, which starts from 72,000 shillings. We have Simba fiber, Zuku fiber, Canal Box is a new one which has come. If you have Zuku and Zuku works with satellite, they also have Zuku TV. It could be there in your school. They could connect you. MTN has fiber, Wakanet. Then we have Rock Telecom. It is in several cities. So fiber would be the best. UTL is providing internet as well. I've talked about Savannah fiber starting with 72 at 10 Mbps. This could be a bit, could work a bit, but you can get a bigger package of 50 Mbps for a better experience. So please, internet is essential for accessing e-learning platforms and digital content, enabling online research and collaboration, supporting administrative tools and communication. Many of you are adopting for report card software, like school management systems, like SurePay and others. You need internet to access. Then poor planning will lead to frustration, wasted subscription. Andrew has talked about subscriptions. You start subscribing and you put a bundle, 100 GB, it is within 1 week, it is down. Because kids are on YouTube. So you need to be able to make sure that your teachers are happy from day one. So to plan for connectivity, you talked about it. Choose the right internet package. Consider different providers. Make sure you do your research. Get internet strategically. Put routers in the right places. Put a staff wireless. In our Sharebility program, we're looking at a culture. So internet connectivity, we have the 10 C's framework. Connectivity is one of them and culture is another. Make sure that your teachers have access to Wi-Fi so that they can be able to use it to research, to get videos on YouTube, so they can integrate technology in the let teachers not be struggling to buy bundles, really. Filter your internet. Some of the routers allow you to filter internet because children might go on pornography and other things. Make sure the internet is filtered. Monitor the speed. Some service providers will tell you they are giving you 50 Mbps, and instead they give you 10 Mbps. For example, mine here promised me 50 Mbps. Now let me see what is I'm having. There's a website called fast.com, which you can use to check. You see, he promised me 50, but I've got 47, but at least I'm somewhere. So when that connected as you have got, try to check your internet on fast.com. How fast is it? So that you can be able to know. Establish network policies. Put in place on your ICT policy what is allowed to be downloaded. Some teachers are going to load what you call torrents. And then the whole internet, they don't know that you are buying bundles. They are going to put movies and they download all the movies. And the bundles are down or the internet is slowing down. So make sure that you then also combine internet access with offline resources like Colibri. So that learners don't necessarily have to be on internet all the time. You can set up Colibri, you can set up other digital libraries so that some things learners are still accessing good content, but when they are not necessarily on internet. You can also scrap websites for offline access using, we talked about it in the module of digital libraries, how you can avail offline content so that learners can continue using ICT for research, but even when your bundles are saved, you can download the Wikipedia or W3 Schools, put it offline. Learners use and you are saving your bundles if you are using broadband and you are on a subscription basis. So when you have set up your computer lab and you have also put internet, you need to do maintenance. Maintenance increases the lifespan of your devices. Make sure that you service your computers. Because of time, I'm not going to have an extended discussion on this, but you should be scheduling your maintenance at least every holiday and also before you nap, so that learners' computers are working very well. So we have something here. There are things you are supposed to do on a daily basis when it comes to maintaining your computers. Every day, computers should be turned off well. You should have wipe your screens, make sure there is no dust on the computers. Every month, clean, remove dust from the CPUs, run antivirus, update your antivirus, even if you have bought Kaspersky. Put internet and update the database definition so that it can clean up and protect your computers. Test, then also annually, make sure that you review all your devices, make sure that you renew whatever is needed. And assign responsible staff to ensure that they see that the computers in the lab are actually off. You find that some people, the computer lab has many computers, so they don't switch on. They don't switch off. You come back at 2, you come and check, the computers are on. So let there be also a budget on maintenance. Don't just tell the ICT teacher that you go and that is your work. Let there be a budget so that the ICT department, they can maintain computers, buy blowers, buy whatever is necessary. If they are saying they are going to do maintenance, please provide some facilitation so that they can maintain the computers well. They reinstall Windows, they do whatever is needed so that the computers are working well. Then for this part of cybersecurity, I think this one we talked about it in earlier modules. I'm not going to talk much about it. It is always important also make sure that as learners are on the internet, you also make sure that you secure your information, back up your information, which is important, and train your teachers, make sure that they are able to do what is needed. Now, finally, return on investment, evaluating the impact. You have invested a lot, you have put up a lab, you have put in a lot of resources, you have put internet. Our learners, when someone asks you for the impact of EduTech, some head teacher is going to come and laugh at you. Hey, why you spend a lot of money? The other school doesn't even have a computer lab, but they got more distinctions at PLE than you, more division ones at PLE. For them, they don't teach internet, they don't give internet, they just give their learners to cram. To give them 10 sets of mock, they finish P7, they don't even know how to kirik, but they have got Ivuna, they have got 4 aggregates. So what was your intention of getting learners setting up a lab? Was it for them to get 4 aggregates? So you need to, from where you go, define the success indicators. Are your success indicators of EduTech adoption to do with PLE passing? Did your learners improve in digital literacy? What was your indicators? So your indicators should be things like improving learning, enhancing school management efficiency, learners getting .com skills, getting innovations. So you should be able to have your indicators, otherwise you'll be frustrated. Someone will tell you that you wasted your money. EduTech does not necessarily mean D1s at PLE, but it means the quantity may not be high, but the quality. Your learners are better placed for the lifelong learning and for the world of work. So your learners are there. Of course, I'm not saying EduTech will make them to fail. They will actually pass because you need to balance everything. But make sure that you define your indicators early. Use simple tools like the ICT usage logs, surveys. Make sure that you involve the whole school so that learners, you have a club, what are learners able to do? So that your learners will be different from the other school, which is giving them cram work to pass PLE, and they don't bother about co-curricular and other skills like ICT skills. So basically, from this session today, we have talked about ICT resources are very important. Head teacher, please need to do your homework, learn some more about ICTs, prioritize regular maintenance. Cybersecurity is important. Monitor your ICTs that you have put in place. The best managed ICT environment don't just have wooden modern tools. They are used widely, safely, and sustainably to enhance teaching and learning and leadership. So we want to thank members for being with us in the EduTech course, Sharebility EduTech course. Members have been asking about slides. Where are the slides and everything? I'm going to ask Madam Peace. She's going to share her screen. She's going to show us where you can access all the slides. We had a Google Classroom which got full and people were unable to connect. So we have not been sharing some of the slides. But we have created a new Google Classroom that you are able to access all the materials. And also, when you go to our website, you will be able to find our website. We have what we call our website, sharebility.org. Click on EduTech course. You'll be able to find, we are here, you are going to find more information. We are going to put, we have the updated module 1, module 2, and module 3, whatever we have been covering, the updated syllabus, you can be able to access it here, everything on our website. Our EduTech Success Framework, which guides everything in EduTech from Sharebility, is going to be here. And we are writing a lot of articles. If you go to our website still, you'll be able to find the blog where you'll find articles. We are writing more detailed articles about various things that we are handling. So when you go there and you find articles, you'll find articles about various things that we are doing as Sharebility in EduTech. We are dedicating ourselves to EduTech. And we believe EduTech, we are going to create an impact and guide more. For the EduTech course, we shall have another season 2. For now, we are going to have a break for some weeks, but we shall be having some guest sessions. We shall be getting service providers and some other demo sessions. We are going to run some kind of survey so that teachers can tell us what did we rush through very fast, what do they want to learn better, so that they can be able to, we can go back. If maybe there is something we needed to revisit, we shall revisit. So the Google Classroom code for the new classroom is here, but let me ask Madam Peace to unmute and tell us about it, and then we shall have our closing prayer. So Madam Peace, you can unmute and tell us where do we get all the slides for all the modules.
Yes, hello members. Hope you can hear me. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining and for being patient up to this time. Thank you all of us that have been consistently attending these Zoom sessions ever since we started. And we thank God that we have reached the end of this EduTech course. Concerning the content, concerning the content, because there's so many slides that our facilitators have been using to facilitate these trainings. Many of us could not join the classroom, the Google Classroom that was earlier on, that was shared earlier. So what we have done is that we have created another Google Classroom that can cater for a school or an institution. And like I'm showing you here, we have actually uploaded all the slides right from module 1 up to the latest, which was last week, which is module 3.4. And even this one here, we are going to upload it as soon as we end this call. Yeah, so to join, all you have to do is to go to your email and scroll down. When you scroll down, you'll be able to see Classroom. You'll be able to see Classroom. Yeah, when you click on Classroom, here I have already joined. Okay. When you click on Classroom, it's going to ask you for the class code. Now the new class code that has been generated for us is CTJWG. You can even read it as CTJOG. When you put in that class code, you'll be able to join. Yeah, when you click on classwork, you'll be able to access everything and all the content that will be shared on this platform, and you'll be able to view and download as much as you want. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Peace, for that. So, members, try to visit our new Google Classroom, and you're able to find the Google Classroom, the materials there as we conclude with our session. Yeah, so members, that is all for now. The code is there, it has been provided. You can be able to check, it is CityJAWG. That is the new class code for our Google Classroom. It has all the slides. The other old one became full, but this one we have created it with more capacity. This one can accommodate up to 1,000 participants. So you should be able to join. We shall be sharing other resources there. We are also planning an EduTech exhibition. And we want to invite everyone. If you want to be part of the EduTech exhibition is going to be targeting clubs. And we talked about it last week in the session we had last week about clubs. We talked about it. Yeah, so in case you are interested, please, there is an application form you can fill in. It is the form is bit.ly/edutech courses. We have been sharing about it in our group. You can be able to check it out and you register. Yeah, so we have shared it in our group. It is called EduTech Coaches. Yeah, so that is this is it. Let me share with you. So this is it. Go to Edify. Edify is going to be organizing the EduTech exhibition. So you just go to EduTech Coaches Edify. EduTech Courses Edify, bit.ly/EduTech Coaches. Okay, bit.ly/EduTech Coaches. Now, EduTech Coaches, we are going to, once you register, the deadline is end of this month. We are going to create a TOT. We are going to invite you, a physical workshop, and you are going to learn more on mentoring clubs, and then we shall be able to allocate you schools where you are going to go and mentor the learners. Then after mentoring them, we are going to organize a competition on club competition where learners are doing programming, where learners are doing content and other things with some of these things which are in the form that you are going to be looking at: robotics, coding and programming, web development, creative digital content creation, STEM projects. So EduTech coaches are going to be helping to mentor the learners, and then we shall organize the exhibition or the competition later on this year. So basically, that is it. So we are going to be in that. We also have other things going on, but for now, I want to end it here. And I want to thank you very much for being with us. So we are going to have someone to give us a closing prayer. And then, Mr. Fabiano, you want to say something? But we want to conclude. Fabiano, you had put up your hand. Maybe you can be the one to give us a closing prayer. Okay, let me Let me get someone else. Yes, Fabiano.
I think there's a message maybe you have not read on the chat. Trying to ask, are we concluding this program today or we are still continuing with others? Then also on the issue of those one who have completed, are they going to be awarded the certificate or for the completion of the course?
Okay, thank you very much. Now we are going to check our. Thank you for that reminder. We are actually going to offer some certificates, and you are going to access them through the Google Classroom. That's how we did it in last year. The other time we had our course. So please, we have been taking note of people who have been registered, who have been attending regularly. And we are going to see a threshold percentage of sessions attended. If someone has attended at least 75% of the sessions, then they should qualify for a certificate. If you missed 1 or 2 sessions, it's okay. So you can be able to, even today, if you have not registered, please, you can be able to register. We are going to do an analysis on the registration sheets, and then we see which people we can get the certificates. We have shared an opportunity for the EduTech courses, but even members who have been attending, we have many other programs that are coming up. So you are at least we can trust that you have attended most of the sessions. So we can, in case we have a school in your area which needs a training, we can be able to send you, and then you train, and then because schools are contacting us, they want training, and you go there, you train, and then you are paid when you have been sent by us. So we are going to be looking at people who have been attending the sessions. Those are the ones who are going to be getting such opportunities. Yeah, so for now, I've shared the link again in the chat. So you can click on that and then you register. For the sessions, the weekly sessions of every Monday, this is the last one. This is the last session, but we can be announcing once in a while guest sessions. So when you see that we are sharing a link, maybe we have a special session, it's okay, because we are going to be having some other sessions. We have one of our colleagues, one of our members, Dennis Wagisha. He has also started doing some EduTech sessions on the various applications. So you can also be joining the sessions. He normally has them every Sunday, and Sunday at 8. So you can be joining those as well. So basically, that is what we can say for now. Yeah, thank you very much. And I think we can end at this point. Madam Claudia, thank you for being with us all through. And Mr. Musinguzi, Mr. Andrew, Juliet, Solomon, Henry, and everyone. Thank you very much. In case you are interested in inviting us to your school for training, please, you can let us know. We can organize a special session and we come and train either the teachers or the administrators on various aspects of EduTech. Follow our website for more. Also, follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. We have our hashtag is Sharebility EduTech, and also our username is Sharebility Uganda. So when you go to Twitter, please visit us on Twitter. We are actively tweeting various things that we are doing in EduTech. So go to Twitter and follow so that you can be able to see the various services that we are offering to the world. All right. Today's session has really spanned a lot of time, so I want us to end here. Mr. Emerald, maybe let me, but I wanted to get a lady. Let me get a lady. I don't know that Juliet, you can give us a closing prayer. Juliet. Okay. Let me ask Well, let me ask Solomon. Solomon, are you there? You could give us a closing prayer and then we conclude. Thank the Lord for this session and conclude our session. Okay. Okay. Let me try Yusuf. Yusuf? Yes, Juliet.
Good evening, members.
Yes.
This is Juliet Nanjere. Here being asked to give a closing prayer. Now let's humble ourselves for the prayer. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this time. We thank you for everything that we've learned. We dedicate ourselves to you so that whatever that has been taught us can be used for future and for the generation to benefit. I'm asking this prayer through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Bye.
Bye.
Mm.